Hello, everyone. We're absolutely thrilled to welcome you to this year's ODSC APAC 2023 conference. The Asia Pacific region is one of the fastest growing areas of AI adoption and is at the forefront of the AI revolution and home to many of the world's leading AI companies and researchers. Your presence here today is a testament to the shared passion, curiosity, and drive that unites us in our pursuit of knowledge and in the progress of the exhilarating fields of data science and AI. My name is James McGovern, part of the team here at ODSC and your MC for today. Now, before we get started with today's program, I'd like to cover a few quick items. Let's do a quick run through of our virtual platform. Once you log into live.odsc.com, you have quite a few features to choose from. You can go to the agenda and add your favorites under My Favorites. There you will see the day-to-day schedule as well as the Live Now section, as well as an on-demand section. And remember, after the session's over, please don't forget to rate that session. Or you can head over to the networking section to browse the various chat channels. Don't forget to introduce yourself in our chat channel and tell us where you're from and what you do. And remember, this event is also about you, our attendees, so do take the time to connect virtually with your fellow attendees. And don't forget to share your favorite moments at ODSC on social media, such as LinkedIn or Twitter, using hashtag ODSC, and we will be giving prizes for the most memorable mentions. I would like to thank all of our partners for helping support this conference. A special thank you to our diamond partner, Microsoft, and a thank you to all of our partners, including American Express, Neo4j, Cardo, MIT, and AI+. I'd encourage you to visit our partners in our virtual Expo Hall and check out the insights and information they can share. And also don't forget to check out our prize section for digital swag and prizes for social media mentions and more. I am very pleased to say we've assembled a fantastic lineup of distinguished and accomplished speakers from the Asia Pacific region and beyond who will inspire us with their cutting-edge research, thought-provoking insights, and real-world experiences. We extend our warmest gratitude to each of our speakers for their invaluable contributions and for sharing their expertise, insights, and enthusiasm with our online audience. Most importantly, a special thank you to all our attendees. As you can see, we have attendees from all across the Asia Pacific region, including India, Australia, Japan, Philippines, China, Indonesia, and from many more countries. Despite the distance, your energy, curiosity, and passion for learning is what makes this conference truly special, even in a virtual format. We encourage you to engage in meaningful discussions, ask thought-provoking questions, and seize this unique opportunity to learn, network, and grow. Once again, welcome to ODSC, and we wish you an inspiring, enlightening, and memorable experience. It is a great pleasure to welcome our distinguished keynote speaker. Psalti is a 20-plus year tech and business leader and currently the Senior Director at Microsoft's Azure AI engineering organization. Prior to her role at Microsoft, she served as the head of strategic platforms at Google Cloud, where she partnered with Fortune 500 companies to help them grow their businesses through digital transformation initiatives. A native of Greece, Eve holds a master's degree and multiple technologies and business certifications from esteemed institutions such as the London Business School and the University of Washington. She's committed to fostering innovation and empowering female entrepreneurs and currently serves on the board of WE Global Studios, a full-stack startup innovation studio. Please join us in extending a warm welcome to the accomplished and inspiring Eve Psalti as she shares her insights and expertise with us today.
Hello, my name is Eve Psalti, and I'm a Principal Group Program Manager in the Azure AI Engineering team here at Microsoft. And today I'm delighted to be talking to you about how to infuse generative AI in your applications using the Azure OpenAI Service. So before we go any deeper, I wanted to take us through a brief history of artificial intelligence and generative AI. This started back in the 50s and the 60s with a lot of early work that happened to replicate and even exceed human intelligence. Then in the late 90s, one of the key capabilities to really accelerate this AI efforts was machine learning, which is basically building a model that can help make predictions or make decisions. Then in the late 2000s, we saw the new capabilities that came through deep neural networks. And a couple of years ago, we saw the proliferation of large language models and generative AI that basically has the capability to create new written, visual, and auditory content based on the prompt. Also, I want to take a minute and juxtaposition the difference between a traditional and a generative AI set of models. So in the traditional model development, it involves models that are being developed and trained separately or in silos. So for example, if you have an entity recognition model, then it requires that you have specifically tagged entity data. If you have a sentiment analysis model, it requires specifically trained sentiment data, and so forth and so on. And these models are really great if you have a very specific task that you need to be executing. Now, by comparison, when we talk about large language models and foundation models, these models have been influential in the development of AI systems, and they played a key role in how AI systems are constructed since the late 2000s. A foundational model is basically a machine learning model that is trained on a large amount of unlabeled data. And therefore, it allows the model to be adapted to a wide variety of tasks. So you can do, leveraging the same model, you can do a lot of different tasks like Q&A, sentiment analysis, summarization, object recognition, and so forth and so on. So now shifting gears, I'm delighted, that in the past couple of years, we were able to, really go forward with our collaboration and our partnership with OpenAI, which is a quite synergistic collaboration, if you will, meaning that OpenAI is leveraging the large Azure supercomputers in order to train their large language models. And also in return, what we do is we take these pre-trained generative AI models and we make them available in the Azure AI portfolio. And these are models that you already know. And we're going to take a quicker, deeper look in this view. You probably have used or have heard of many of them by now. GPT-3 and GPT-4 is the text completion set of models. These models can understand and generate natural language. Codex is a set of models that can understand and generate code, and that includes translating natural language into code. Dall-E is the fun one. It's a set of models that can generate and manipulate images from natural language. And the last one that I'm sure you've all used is the conversational AI piece, derivative of the GPT-3 and the GPT-4 models, which is the ChatGPT. And in the past couple of months, we were able to really expand the capabilities that we bring to the Azure OpenAI Service. In our Build conference, which is our developer conference a couple of months ago, we were able to announce new capabilities. We were able to announce the new Azure AI Studio, which includes not only access to all these generative AI models, but also the capability to easily ground OpenAI models on your data. So basically, it provides you the opportunity to fine-tune these models, grounding them in your data, in your information, whether it's CRM data, HR data, further customizing the experience for your users. Also, we announced Azure AI Prompt Flow, which again is coming into preview. It provides a streamlined experience for prompting, for evaluating, tuning, and further operationalizing large language models. We also announced Azure OpenAI plugins, which is a great way to expand the capabilities through third-party services. We announced net new vector search capabilities available in Azure Cognitive Search. And we also enabled provisioned throughput for the Azure OpenAI service that provides dedicated capacity for your use cases. There are a lot of other announcements in this event, but this was kind of like, a high-level view. As I said, lots of these announcements were made, and now you have access to a lot of these capabilities. I think one of the most important ones is on your data that you can further customize and fine-tune these models. Definitely vector indexing is one of the key ones, and of course prompt flow, so that you can continue being in the flow and further customizing these models. Another note that I want to make also is that although when we talk about GPT-3, GPT-4, and Codex, we primarily assume that we were using the Da Vinci model underneath, but I wanted to make sure that that there are others that you can definitely mix and match, and this can be a very efficient and very cost-effective way of running your workload. So something to keep in mind. Great. So beyond GPT-3 and GPT-4, we talked about Codex. Codex is a great set of models that can make APIs more accessible because you can access your API library in a much more efficient way. It accelerates the software development. When you have tens of thousands of lines of code, it's good to use this AI model to help you kind of with a more repetitive and mundane tasks, and it widens the opportunity for who can actually code, enabling some of the citizen developers to really develop easy applications. One of the key components of Codex is the documentation development, which no developer wants to do. Again, making developers much more efficient and much more productive. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Dall-E. This is the model that can generate an infinite number of images through text prompts. It's a great creative way to develop images like this that you see on the screen. Very creative, very detail-oriented, primarily leveraged through creative agencies, marketing departments, and so forth. Also, I want to make sure that we all understand that the Azure OpenAI models are part of a broader and very diverse family of Azure AI services that we have. It's a collection of pre-trained models that you'll see access through an API, but also if you want to build your own models and you have data science expertise, we provide you with the cloud-based platform that allows you to build, deploy, and manage machine learning models and further customize the ones you have. So we basically say you can start as high as you want in this stack, enabling your citizen developers, and go all the way down as far as you need, depending on your data science and developer expertise. A couple of you are asking the difference between OpenAI and Azure OpenAI services. Obviously, we can't comment on the OpenAI operation since it's a separate company, but I can tell you that the Azure OpenAI service behaves like any other Azure service, meaning that it's enterprise ready. It can be deployed within your Azure subscription. You can assign and manage users. It gives you the reliability, the flexibility, the security, the privacy components and capabilities that you see in any other Azure service. And also, it has additional responsible AI tools and capabilities. So this is really, really critical because it provides you that peace of mind that this is enterprise ready. So having said that, let's take a look at a couple of use cases that we see. Obviously, the service has been around for, a couple of years now, and we have a lot of early adopters that we support and we learn from. So this is kind of like what we see more or less from a use case standpoint. We see a lot of use cases around content generation. These are primarily associated with call center analytics. But also we see a lot of personalized content development that can be surfaced through a bot, through a website, etc. Another key use case that we see, it's summarization. Again, associated with call center analytics, because we see a lot of large content-heavy conversational logs that we need to rationalize and make sense of. But we also use it for financial reporting, for analyst articles, for summarizing social media trends, and many more. And we also talked about the use cases around code generation, also code documentation, and definitely the semantic search for knowledge mining and information discovery. More interestingly, at the bottom of the slide, what we see is some of the more composite use cases that combine one or two or even more API accessed capabilities in order to have a more end-to-end scenario. And we can take a quick look at a couple of them. These are some additional use cases that we see from the launch of On Your Data. Again, this is a great way for you to ground and customize the information you have with your own data. So you can take a quick look at these. The one kind of these composite use cases that I was mentioning is the contact center and analytics. For this, we use basically the speech API with speech to text that converts the audio into written text. And then we call up the Azure OpenAI Service to do summarization and information extraction. And then from there, you can do the reporting and use, Power BI to expose it, or you can send a personalized email through your CRM. Another one that we see over and over again is the document process automation. This leverages the Azure Document Intelligence, which formerly is known as Form Recognizer, that provides the ability to read handwritten text, table, all sorts of structured and unstructured documents that you might have. Also leverages the Azure AI Search API that helps you index the documents. And it calls up also the Azure OpenAI service that provides a queryable interface to generate natural language summaries from these documents. So again, a great way to combine multiple APIs for an end-to-end scenario that you might have in your organization as well. This is a quick view of how the prompt looks like. I'm sure many of you have seen it. This becomes very powerful when you have lots of different records like this, when you need to extract a particular information or do some sentiment analysis or summarize and all of that. This is another view when we, through the prompt where you see here in the output, we are able to analyze a lot of content-heavy entries in order to extract the relevant information and summarize the insights. Here is another one that basically converts the conversation back into code so that you can incorporate it into a broader implementation. And it works with multiple languages other than English. You can see here the example with German. And we've seen obviously tremendous customer demand spanning across industries and use cases. We have more than 4,500 customers already that are trusting and using the Azure OpenAI service. And, this number and, the logos are growing as we speak. I wanted to take a minute just to summarize a couple of these use cases that we see working with customers. CarMax is one of the examples in the United States. They wanted a fast and efficient way to analyze customer reviews that they had, and they wanted to provide a brief and meaningful set of summaries so that they can customize the marketing campaigns and marketing communications that they were doing to their customers. So they were able to leverage the Azure OpenAI service, and they were able to produce the equivalent of 11 years worth of car summaries in a matter of months. So you can see how the results are really quite impressive, and they drive a lot of productivity with these teams. Another example we have comes from Europe, from Austria. Strabag is in the automation space, a manufacturing company working with large construction projects. They wanted kind of like a risk mitigation management process to help them analyze the risk from each of the large and complex construction projects that they're driving. So they were able to use the Azure OpenAI service and pinpoint at-risk construction projects so that they can further manipulate or prepare for the risk, and this enabled them to reduce their financial losses, which was huge. And then the last one comes from Taiwan, from the Asia side. And we were able to work with a national Taiwan national university. They wanted a way to improve their English language speaking skills, the programs that were supporting this. So we were able to work with them and with the Taiwan Ministry of Education and a lot of other organizations, leveraging the Azure OpenAI service. And basically now they have a process and a set of education programs that are helping students reach their learning goals, and they're able to overcome the challenges of limited opportunities through improving their written and oral English. So lots of great use cases here. To end this, I want to really, share with you some of the considerations that you should keep in mind as you are evaluating Azure AI and Azure OpenAI. First of all, you need to make sure that you are considering the Azure OpenAI service when you need a general purpose model that can handle multiple tasks. So if you want to do several things with one model, whether it's like extract information, extract sentiment, classify information, summarize information. These generative AI models and the Azure OpenAI service will be the right tool for the job. If you want to generate human-like content, so if you want to personalize a set of communications in a very effective way, again, the Azure OpenAI will be the right tool for the job. Also, if you're in the business of needing to prototype fast and go to market fast, because these are very, very powerful models, again, this will be the right tool for the job. Also, if you require a model that needs little or no training, yes, we provide fine-tuning and customization capabilities, but because these models are fairly large, you need to be able to use them off the shelf or fairly off the shelf. So think about it when you are considering the Azure AI or any of the Azure OpenAI models. The good thing is that we have a very diverse, very rich portfolio of AI models that you can pick from. And you can definitely have and find more information through our product page in the Azure OpenAI service page. And we have lots of skilled specialists that can help you through this journey. So with that, I want to thank you for your time, and I invite you to come and try Azure AI services. I want to thank you for your time, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.